Ecological civilization is Earth democracy. Ecological civilization is the recognition that we are part of the web of life. We are not outside the web. We are not masters of the earth. We are not owners of the earth, and we definitely should stop the war against the earth. Because as members of the earth family, making peace with the earth is not just respecting the rights of the earth, it is ensuring that our future is sustained because we depend on the earth. Ecological civilization means that we elevate the values that are organizing principles of our civilization. I want to just quote two little quotes. When Gandhi was asked what he thought of Western civilization, which at that time was an industrial civilization, when they asked, what do you think of Western civilization? He just smiled and said, it would be a good idea. Meaning that it's not a civilization, because to be civilized is to be organized for higher ends, the higher ends of leaving the earth more beautiful, higher ends of not polluting the earth, higher ends of living as earth community, respecting other human beings. Now, a system that is based on profits and profits and profits alone, and will commit any violence in order to make more money, is not a civilization. Gandhi was so right. But then, the Tibetan prime minister of the Tibetan government in exile, he used to always come and teach at our Earth University. Like you have an Earth University in Costa Rica. Our little Navdanya has a little Earth University where we learn lessons from the earth. And he differentiated between two words in Hindi. He said, Sanskriti is that which holds things together. That's civilization. Civilization binds. It creates bonds and relationships. And Vikriti is the opposite, that which destroys, that which fragments. So what is being called Western civilization today is a fragmenting of the world, a separation of humans from nature, separation of humans from humans, separation of the earth from each part of her parts. What is genetic engineering but reducing a living organism with billions of genes in complex interaction, reducing it to one gene to be moved around and owned as intellectual property. So it is the ultimate fragmentation. And ecological civilization then is that which holds us together as one earth family and one humanity. So it brings out the best of human values. But in those human values, we have to bring out the best of our relationship with and in the earth. That to me is ecological civilization. For sure, an expanded consciousness of knowing that we are not separate from other beings. They make us. The tree makes us, gives us our breath. The gut microbiome makes us. We wouldn't be alive without those 100 trillion companions in us. So we need to give up anthropocentric arrogance of mastery, of superiority, of separation, and move to ecological oneness. Because, money is not the currency of life. It's a product. Locke created private property, but Locke also redefined currency into money. Before that, currency was the flow of life. And then the currency of life is life itself. What life flows, called panteria. The amazing Greek phrase of everything flows all the time. Nutrition flows, soil to plants and to the animals. Water flows in the big hydrological cycle. Breath flows. Love and relationship flow. So ecological civilization then is a holding together through these flows and their integrity. And the fragmentation comes from a consciousness that has reduced the world not just to pure material existence, without relationships, without life, without spirituality. But worse, it has taken materiality into machine, that this world of material is only machines. And this reductionism of a living world losing its self-organization, losing its capacity to self-regulate, is to me the biggest scientific error that has been made, because that has prevented us from knowing the harm we cause, but it has also prevented us from engaging in the regeneration we can do. The other is the issue of consciousness of us as one earth family. Now, my country talks about it as Vasundhara and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the family of the earth. And the elaboration in ancient Veda says, anyone who thinks of other beings as less or higher, or as strangers or friends, is a petty mind. It doesn't have a consciousness. It's a shallow mind. An elevated mind with a high consciousness knows that the whole world is one family, and therefore, and family connected to love. But in your part of the world, Pachamama, yeah? She is the family, she's the organizer, she's the value giver, everything. Turn any part of the world. The consciousness is in all indigenous cultures of an ecological civilization. And I think what we have to now tap is both the wisdom of indigenous cultures as ecological civilizations, as well as the new sciences of life which are emerging, including my own field of quantum theory,
Mm-hmm.
Because
Sure.
in quantum theory, everything flows. There's nothing like a static particle, yeah? It's potential unfolding all the time. And as David Bohm said, the enfoldment in the implicate order is the unfolding in the expletive. Same as in the seed is holding the tree. The seed is giving you the wheat plant. It's in that little grain. Yeah. Where does that pattern come from? That is the understanding. But it's just like there are patterns in the living world, there are patterns in living societies and cultures that hold people together, that replicate the values that make us truly human by being truly being spiritual beings. We've been reduced to material beings, and now we're being told, no, you have to become subservient to the machines. This is this madness in Silicon Valley called transhumanism. That we are, just like they turned to our seeds and said, you're inferior, we'll improve it. Then they turned to animals and then tortured them and said, we'll improve you. Now they want to improve the human being by making our humanity disappear. And this is the time where our consciousness has to be constantly and strengthen our ability to say, no, we're off the earth. We are alive. We have a consciousness. And our consciousness is a common consciousness that flows through the universe. Ecological civilizations are living organisms that have the capacity to evolve, adapt, and the most important part of an ecological civilization is that every part of it is alive. Just like in a living organism, every part of the organism is alive. In a machine, nothing is alive. Yeah? So machine is assembled from the outside with inert parts, which have been mined from the earth, but have now lost their vitality. And there's a bit of chips, and there's a bit of metal, and there's a bit of plastic and petrol, and it's all assembled together. But living systems are self-organized, not just in the whole, but in every part. Yeah? Every cell in our body is a self-organized entity, working in harmony with all other cells in beautiful balance. And I want to, again, come back to the fact that we've been made to think in terms of this ideology of external assembly of the machine and in terms of a top-down organizing. But that's not how life works. Life works through internal self-organization. And life works with complexity of diverse elements being self-organized, every molecule self-organized, every cell self-organized, and the organism of which they are a part self-organized. And I want to share with you just again, David Bohm talking about the enfoldment. But my dear friend, Lei Wan Ho, wrote that the individual is a distinctive enfoldment of the environment. The environment is in us. So each individual is not only constituted of others in its environment, but also simultaneously delocalized, non-local, over all other individuals. That's how we think of ecological civilization. So each civilization is unto itself, but 10 ecological civilizations emerging in different places will, of course, be an ecological civilization of unity in which the basic principles will be shared. The expressions will be unique to the particular ecological civilization. So when you ask, is it singular or plural? It is plural and singular.